Wife 34 female admitted to cheating. We have a 3-year autistic son. I'm 37M, overwhelmed. Our relationship has been strained lately with her working nights and I working days. Because our son has special needs, a standard babysitter/childcare isn't possible and specialized care isn't available or financially feasible. He has a few hours a week at school in a therapy setting. Otherwise, he is with one of us. Because of the schedules, we have been the ships passing in the night. Most days we get 10 minutes to see each other. Not a perfect situation, and it's something I wanted to fix. I've been sleeping in the guest room so that she can decompress and get some quality sleep alone. It was not something I wanted to do, but for her benefit, I thought it would help her sleeplessness. Our sex life has been non-existent for a long time. In the past few months, when we have talked, she would mention things like, we should try an open relationship because I don't like sex anymore and you should be free to explore, and getting married has screwed up our finances. We should get an on-paper divorce. I never took her that seriously because she said them in such a joking tone. Lately, she had mentioned that she feels like we're great roommates. She has also wanted to go out with her friends more often on her nights off. I'm not the type for that, so I stay home with our son. Admittedly, a special needs child can be very difficult. Her having a night off was completely understandable. Come to 2 weeks ago, I asked to sit down to talk about our relationship. She agreed to talk the next day, and I actually sent her an email of questions I had on my mind. Questions like, how would you describe our relationship? And do you want to share a bed anymore? And most importantly, have you had sex outside of our marriage? We sat down after our son was in bed and had the talk. We talked for a few minutes about what she thought of our relationship. She said she doesn't see us as a couple anymore. She started to cry. Then she said, you asked if I've had sex with anyone else. The answer is yes. It immediately hit me like a ton of bricks. I had asked the question more out of peace of mind for me rather than a confirmation. I had suspicions before, but I thought they were all in my head. We talked for 2 hours. I said very little and tried to keep my anger in check. But here's what was revealed. She did not want to talk about details of the other relationship with me. That doesn't matter. She admitted to it happening more than once. And it was premeditated. She had gone out with my blessing to hang out with friends knowing that she was going to cheat. The affair is not still going on, but she was still talking to the person. She wasn't necessarily interested in a romantic or sexual relationship outside of our marriage right now, but she's open to anything. She didn't realize until recently that she's probably not really into the whole monogamy thing. As for our relationship, we're done, and she wanted me out of the bedroom completely. She wants to remain in the house to co-parent, not just because we have to, but because she wants to. You're a great dad, and that part of you I still really care about. She kept saying we don't have to make any decisions right now, and I know it's a lot. Also, I don't hate you. I still care about you, and I'm sure you hate me. Since then, I've moved upstairs. I've initiated a separation of our finances and healthcare. That conversation resulted in her crying and saying this is a lot right now, but she has relented. She's also said that she's depressed and mourning losing her best friend and retreats to her room frequently. I've mentioned divorce, her moving out, and selling the house, all of which are returned with vague warnings of expense and difficulty, and disrupting our son. Conversations with my friends say she's gaslighting me or manipulating the situation so that she gets to have her cake and eat it too. I've come to believe that having her move out may be difficult for our son, but it's what's best for my health, and that's ultimately best for my son. But I have no idea how to make it happen. I feel so lost and broken. Just typing this up has taken a few days because I can't get through it all. All I think about is how I wanted to fix our relationship and how she put someone else above spending time with us. She used my dependability as a father for her selfish reasons. Then I think about being kind to her so that she can stay in our child's life. He will need both of us. It's sadness, then pain, then anger, then a few minutes of numbness before it starts again. Ugh. Merry Christmas to me. Thank you for reading, and I'll welcome any advice or questions. Update. Thank you all for the wonderful support. I didn't know how much interest a rambling, shambling post like this would receive. So I'll add a few more pieces of information, as I said below. Some of the nights out were explained as work-related social events, or with friends from work that I don't know. Obviously now I can't trust that info very much. I am sure that one of the nights she cheated, it was described as a mom's night off, where I took my son to play at an indoor playground so WS could get ready, then take an Uber out to a bar. Brutal when I realized that one. But I do know some of her friends. One of those friends is actually a female friend of mine from before the relationship. Let's call her Fran. Fran has not been in contact with WS, but I've told her the situation, and she's been helping me very kindly. I haven't asked her to verify any alibis. I also learned through Fran that WS had told another mutual friend that OM has a GF, the GF knows about the affair, and OM is trying to repair that relationship. I don't know where that leaves my WS or even how much I can trust Forehand Info. She has apologized indirectly. She said, "I'm sorry that I hurt you," but she also explicitly does not regret that she cheated. This week she works most days, but we are going to try to have a normal Christmas Eve day. Then I'm taking my son to see my family this weekend. I'll tell them what's going on then. She has told her mom that we're not together and that she cheated. Her mom is sad about the situation. In talking about her moving out, she refuses to leave until we sell the house, or I buy it back alone, and she gets her share of the equity. She said that's fair if you're going to kick me out. Also, she said that if I try to stop her from seeing our child, she will fight it. Those are the only two things she has been forceful or antagonistic about. She's open to seeing a divorce attorney or mediator. Whenever you want, I realize reading the above, I may have made her out to be more manipulative and cold-hearted than she may be. But the facts are correct, so judge us as you will. Story 2. How should I talk to my boyfriend about marriage and our future? M26F and my boyfriend, 29M, have been dating for almost 3 years now. Just for background context, both our families are from Asian backgrounds, so we are both quite family-oriented and also live with our parents. Not uncommon for Asian kids until they marry or move abroad, we are still absolutely in love with each other. We are in an LDR, but we manage to see each other around 3 times a year, so it's not very tough on us. We are very compatible and have a great time together. Our families have met each other and all get along too. Everything is actually pretty much perfect. We usually always talk about how much we love each other and how we want to spend the rest of our lives together, and make plans to travel and do exciting things in the future. But we never really talk about getting married or engagement or any of that sort of commitment. Honestly, I'm totally fine with that. For 2 specific reasons. I have not completely settled down with an extremely well-paid job that makes me feel completely independent. My boyfriend is not employed currently either and is looking into a potential career switch. However, my family is slowly seeding this idea into my head that I should speak to my BF about getting engaged or potentially making a verbal commitment amongst the families at least. There's no extreme pressure, but they mention it sometimes. I also have friends etc. who seem to be having these kind of serious conversations with their partners. Should I also be initiating the conversation about marriage and a future? And if so, how do I even bring it up naturally?